Hey garden friends, what does this and these have to do with your next season's garden? I'll show you. Let's get rolling. Let's go around the garden and collect seeds in September. This is September 23rd, so we're way into September. Fall, first day of fall was Monday, this is Wednesday. So there's quite a few flowers still going to seed that I can collect for next season. Now all of these are flowers that do excellent in my garden. I'm in zone 8B. Some are perennials, some are annuals, and all of them can be started from seed so that you can really save money. You won't have to buy seed. You know that these plants will do well in your garden if they've done well up until now or through this season. And yeah, it just is a super money saving way of getting more bang for your buck. Now I've showed you before on cuttings you could take. Those do great, but now I have things going to seed that I want to collect so that I can have more next summer because I enjoyed them so much this summer. So let's get rolling collecting seeds in the garden, and I'll share with you a cute little seed packet that I use to put them in if I'm going to give them away as a gift. So there's that too. I was hoping to find one of my geraniums that had fully gone to seed. Now you can see this is starting, and you see these little spikes here. Pretty soon these will open up and they'll get a white little furry thing on it. That's really what's to catch the wind, to let it fly away, and I'll have a little bead on it. I do have, I don't know if a video, but I do have a blog post on how to collect seeds from geraniums. These are the zonal geraniums, pelargoniums, and yeah, that's what I would collect. So I'm going to be watching these. This color, I used to have a lot of them, and I don't this year. So I'm going to make sure and get the seeds from this. But here's the caveat. I have a lot of zonal geraniums in my garden in many colors. So that means the seedlings of this could come out a different color. So I'm going to pamper this and get it healthy and strong enough to take cuttings. And then I know I'll get the exact same plant from the cuttings. So yeah, this has been tucked over in a corner somewhere in the garden and it didn't get the best care. So I'll probably repot it, fresh soil, I'll pamper it. It will go in probably my house and my office on the windowsill so I can keep a good eye on it. And yeah, but I also will collect the seeds here and give it a whirl. You never know, I might get one just like it, or one even prettier. You never know. All right. So let's go on over. We're going to collect some cosmos seeds. These are the white sonata, which they stay shorter. They don't get as tall as regular cosmos. I have no other cosmos in my garden, but they could have gotten cross-pollinated from someone else in the neighborhood. But more than likely, I will get seeds that will come true to the parent plant. So I would like to have more of those next year. So I'll turn the camera around, you'll see the container that has the cosmos in it, and then I'll show you how I collect the seeds. So this is the container. You can see the cosmos. There's still some beautiful flowers, but there's a lot of them that have gone to seed. So I'll get my pruners and my bucket, and I'll move you closer. I'm going to fill this. Yep, see how it's just dumping out in there? I can just scratch them off and go in there, or I can cut the whole seed head. If I'm in a hurry, I'll cut the whole seed head. But if I do it this way, I get less chaff. Chaff is something I don't want. So I'm going to pull those off the petals, and then I'm going to scrape it with my fingernail right in there. You see some flew all over the place. But you get the idea. Now look down in there. You can see all those seeds. And I will keep collecting from each of these seed heads, and they will be great. Work for me. So some are not as ripe as others. And this is a good week to do it. We've cooled down, but we're going to get even cooler by Monday. This is Wednesday. And get a little bit of rain. So I want to get these while they're still dry. If they get a lot of rain and it stays really moist, they could mildew. I don't want that. So I'm going to collect these. up, and then I'll go ahead and the seed heads that have been collected, the seeds that have already been collected from, I'll trim back. I doubt I'll get many more blooms, but I have some buds here that may bloom. When I say doubt is because we're getting the cooler temperature and cosmos like the really hot temperature. So we'll see what happens. So some more. There, and then I'll just cut that head off. Like I said, sometimes I just cut the whole head and put it in there if I'm in a hurry, and then they can come out as they will, but you end up with a lot of chaff that you have to remove. You don't have to. Sometimes I've just thrown them on the ground the following season and they've done fine. But if you have this bit in the container with them, sometimes you can get mildew, mold and mildew, and you really don't want that. So it's easier just to collect, for me, the seeds. So I have this brown paper. You could use white paper, but I have this brown paper. It's a craft paper that you can find in the paint departments of like Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware, and it's used as drop cloth, or to lay it on the floor or to mask off areas when they're painting. But I'm going to dump out the seeds in here. Make sure that static electricity isn't having any sticking, because I want to use that for other seeds to collect. And then I'm just going to remove the chaff or whatever parts I don't want that had a lot of seeds in it. And the dead petals, you might lose a few seeds moving these out of the way, but not enough to really be bothered with. And just, you see how many seeds you get. You get a tremendous amount. And yeah, so I'm just carefully removing the chaff. Now, if I'm just going to put these in the ground, I don't always do this. Now, I'm doing this part if I'm going to envelope them and give them away. So, yeah, we'll just, because if you were just going to throw them on the ground, you could just go throw them on the ground. Chaff and all the chaff would, you know, compost away on the soil. So I don't know, let me see if this is, okay, all done. So now, a little buggy in there, which is always a good sign of healthy plants, unless it's a bad bug, but I don't think it's a bad bug. Okay, so I basically have most of the chaff removed. That would be the dead flower petals, and this part. So right here I have a bunch of seeds. If I want to get nitpicky, I can get the last bit of petals out, but I'm not going to worry about it. So here's a seed packet. This is a homemade seed packet. I wrote Sonata Cosmos on it. Now I have a blog post on the seed packets, and I also paint them many times. Now on my painting website, pamelagropey.com, I have different flower painting tutorials, and you can go there, learn how to paint the different flowers. I have the daisies, I have cosmos, I have violets, I have all kinds of painting tutorials. So you can go and type out, search the name, and find the different flowers. But I would paint a cosmos on here if I was given this as a gift. And I just put these in here. You can put quite a bit in there. And your friend would get quite a few seeds. Now, what I did was when I cut it out, because this is printed out on printer paper, I use a little bit heavier gauge paper. I guess you don't call it gauge, but anyways, weight. I don't use the thin paper. I like it to have the seed packet to have a little heft to it. But then when you cut it out, it has little tabs in it, and you glue that down. Glue stick works great. This part goes, the front part goes over top the tabs, and then you have it sealed where the seeds won't escape. So yeah, then you can fill it up, and you could seal it. You could put their name on it and use it in a gift basket if you wish. You could use, like a gift, for a gift, you could do a gift basket with several seeds from your garden. You could also include a little card with the instructions on how to grow cosmos, or a link to my website. And you could do like different garden supplies in the gift basket, like a trowel, a little hand fork, or other things like that. So that would be a fun gift to give. So that is how you package up the seeds. Now, at first, I won't close this because just in case there's any moisture in those seeds, I'll let them dry for a little bit before I seal it. And that way I don't have to worry about their mildew at all. Okay, let's go collect some more seeds. So right here is Jupiter's beard. So here's the flower, beautiful, has bloomed all summer for me. And here is the seed from that. See these little fluffy things? This is very much like the geranium, pelargonium seeds, but you see that? How it has the fluff and it catches on the wind. Now you can just pull these off and put them in your bucket. Or you can just collect the whole stem and then later on, when you have both hands free, collect the seeds. So let me see if I got another one down here. A lot of the seeds have already blown away, but you can see the little seed pods on there. I'll put that in there for now. And down here, Tunspore. Oops, that one, see the seeds have all blown away already. I'm trying to get a big clump for you so you can see it. So can you see those little fluffy things? That is the seed heads. And Jupiter beard comes up very easily from seed. I have mine reseed itself readily. So here is some more of the Rudbeckias. And this is Sahara mix. Now the last time I collected, only a few of them were ripe. But now there is a ton on here that are ripe. And so I go ahead and cut them off and put them in my tub. Now I had first emptied the tub of the other seeds before I collected these. And then when I go to remove the chaff, so to speak, I'll just get these heads and rub them so that the seeds themselves will fall into the bottom and I won't have all the petals and stuff in there. I'll make sure I remove the petals before I package them up and have them ready to give away, or I'll put them, a lot of times I use old prescription bottles that I put seeds in that I want to save for the following year. So down here is Gaillardia, also known as blanket flower. And you want to look for seed heads. This one's too soft, but the ones like this that are very dried, you see it's already falling apart. And I'm going to collect this. Now sometimes these can be really stickery, so be careful if you don't have gloves on. They can really get spiky. And see that one? It looks like some of them, oh, it looks like a lot of seeds have already dropped. So see if I can find another one that is dried. Okay, I don't know, this one's kind of back here. You see how this one is? So you might have seen it in there, but you'll see if you take the flowers or the seed, crumple it, and then the seeds pop right out of it. So this right here is, let me see if I can get that closer. Get a couple of them closer to you. Okay, so you see the ones right here that are white, that's the seed. The rest of this is pretty much chaff. Here's a seed, here's a seed. So you see the difference in how they look? So those are the seeds. So that is Gaillardia. And then I would clean up again the chaff and then package up the actual seeds. So hopefully it goes in the camera. So it's too hard to get up into where the delphinium was. But here's the stalk I cut off. And here are the little seed pods. Now some of these may have already dropped their seeds. Oh, that one still had some seeds in it and I just lost them. They're little black seeds. Let me see if I could pour it over and get some out. Now, I should have collected these sooner. Oh, am I getting out of the camera here? Let me see. I'll crunch this up and see. I don't see any in here, so my bad. But you see, these are the seed pods. So there might be some in there. I know the one I dumped over had one in it. But so these, instead of trying to collect them, which I should have done it months ago, a couple of months ago at least, I'm going to just chop this up right on the soil over there where I'd like more to grow. And then, yeah. Sorry, I should have collected these sooner. So this isn't a seed I'm collecting in September. This is one I'm just going to try and dump in place. Oh, well, while I was chopping it up over there, I found this one, and it does have some seeds in it. You see that black seed right there? That's what the seeds look like. So I'm going to put that over there in this bed, and maybe I'll get some over there. Now, that delphinium was the shorter growing one. It only got about 3 feet tall. It wasn't like my tall 6-foot ones. A friend gave that to me. She started it. It was her first try at seed starting. Worked great. She did a beautiful job. And she gave me one of those beautiful blue delphiniums. Yeah, so give it a whirl. You never know. All you got to lose is a few seeds. So I'm looking around while I'm talking to see, oh, I've got some more daisies I can collect. So, oh, how about some feverfew? You want to collect feverfew? Let's do that. I don't know, over here is some cleome. Right at the base of the cleome is the feverfew. But look at this. I got to be very careful because if this pops open, it will scatter the seeds everywhere. But if I get close, you can see the black seeds in there. Now these I can collect and start inside in the spring, but I also could just throw them on the ground here and hope that some of them will come up of their own volition. Now this is not a perennial for me, but it reseeds itself so well for many people that it acts like one. But you see all these seed pods here? I need to go get my bucket and dump them in it, and then I can place the seeds other places in the garden I want, or I could save them to start early in the spring indoors. Yeah, this was leaning over so in here that I didn't even notice this. And so, yeah, I'm going to get quite a bit of seeds from this. And the more seeds you have, the more chance for success, that's for sure. Okay. Oh, right there. All right, good to go. So, lots of cleome seeds. I'm at an odd angle, but I don't know if you can see this, but I'm just going to collect up this bit of feverfew, and each one of these heads, if I run my thumbnail across it, it'll put out a ton of seeds. So we're going to go and collect these up in an envelope, or I'll just put them out on the brown bag. Or these, let's take to our brown paper and take out the seeds, and then I'll put them in one of my little prescription jars. So here's our cleome seeds. I'm going to try to ruffle them out as much as possible. Just kind of rub the pods for the most part. A bunch will come out over here. That's okay. We're going to have so many. Now I'll just make sure there's no bugs in it, which happens. Okay, here's a pod. Just open it up, dump them out. I did see a bug in here. Let me see if I can get it out. Okay, come on, buggy. Fly away. All right. So here is my used and cleaned medicine bottle. And so all I do is open it up. I'll pinch the cup to make it kind of pour well, and I shake them into that. Now I also have the little packets that they put into containers to prevent condensation or moisture. So it's a desiccant packet, and you could put that in there to help keep it from mildewing or whatever, molding. But see, these ones that I pulled out, because I was in a hurry, if I would have taken my time, I could have gotten all of them taken out in there. But yeah, so right there, I have marked it twice on each side, or once on each side, so that in case one side rubs off, then I'll have the other. And that is how I would save these in a small container. Now let me brush these to the side. Now these feverfew are about the same as the, well, you see, they're already coming apart here, as the others, where you just rub it and the seeds just fall. Now, I don't normally start feverfew inside or later. I just let them reseed in place, and I just pull up the ones, because they reseed so thickly that I just pull up the ones that I don't want. And so I don't usually bother collecting them, but I'd show you how easy. Just wanted to show you how easy it was if you wanted to collect your own. Now I think this one was a single. I have the doubles that are really pretty that I really like. So yeah, so there's the feverfew. And I would do the same. I wouldn't bother with the chaff on these because it's so little. And I would just put the seeds in an envelope like the Cosmos, mark it, and there you go. So here are the petunias, and you see this little seed head there, right there. You can see it's got a little pod in there. Let me see if I can open that up. And in that pod is all the little seeds, little dark seeds. You'll see them along the leaves and sometimes when it's popping open. But here's a green one. Now that one's not ripe yet, but they will become ripe. Can you see back here? Let me see if I could zoom you in really quick. I know that's not quick, but you get my picture. But you see the little black spots? That's seeds. And this petunia has the sticky leaves. But see, there's the pod in there. And I would just come and either pull it off and then collect the seeds out of it, or I dump the seeds back in there and I let them come up back in here. Like this one, came up from last year. So did this one, and so did this one. So these all reseeded themselves in this container, and I had added these pink ones when I planted all the others. But even this one, see back here, no, you can't see. I got it excuse me, right back here. You can see the seed pods there. Let me get my clippers and I'll clip those. I'm having to reach around the camera, so bear with me. So do you see these? You see the little seeds in there? So those pods all get dumped out into a container. All right, let me move these aside. Let's see if we can get any of these petunia seeds to come out. Oh, yep, look at that. They're teeny tiny, like powder or pepper, but you can see them in there, and you can collect those up. Forgive my neighbors driving by, but you could collect those up and put them in a container, an envelope, whatever you desire. Or if you're brave enough, put them right in a container that you're not going to empty, let it sit over winter, and see if you get any to reseed themselves. I shouldn't say reseed themselves, but come up in that container that you planted them in. But you could just save them till spring and then start your seeds indoors if you have an indoor seed starting get up or set up. This here is sea holly or eryngium, and look at the seeds just popping off of that. So to quickly collect them, I just pop off the ones that are dried. To see, this one is not all the way dry. It still has the bluish leaves there. So yeah, I'll just collect these two, put into my envelope, and some of these I'll just go ahead and let them fall, and then hopefully I'll get more eryngiums coming up right here. Now one year, the gophers ate all of, I shouldn't say all of them because this one came back, or maybe it came back from seeds, I don't know, ate the eryngiums, so I know they like them. So I am going to start some indoors in containers in the spring, and then I'll plant them out in gopher cages so I know that the gophers won't get them. But yeah, see these? Just full of seeds to collect. And see, Holly, they have the most beautiful blue that is different in the garden than many others. So right there is my neighbor's dogwood tree that is filling up with red leaves. Now some years they're more of a burgundy, a deep, vibrant burgundy, and others they're this toned down red. But either way, they are beautiful. And yeah, we have them all along the road, the main road that comes into our neighborhood, and it's just a fabulous, beautiful fall color. And then we have oaks that turn golden, and yeah, they have their own unique color, and it is different depending on the temperatures each year of how golden they are. Let me see if I can find an oak tree. So there's a dogwood right there that always gets beautiful and vibrant. And then here's the oak tree. You can see the leaves beginning to turn. Sorry, the scraping of the tripod on the ground, but you can see the golden leaves there. So it's just starting to turn. Well, I hope you enjoyed collecting seeds with me here in late September. It is now officially fall. Next time, I think, I'm going to share with you a little bit of fall decorating, what I'm going to do for fall decorating. It's very minimal, and how I do it for on a dime. You don't have to go out and buy plants or things or whatever. I did buy some little pumpkins, only because the gophers ate my plants. I planted little pumpkins, and was it the Cinderella or a pie pumpkin, because I wanted to make some fresh pumpkin pies, and anything we didn't eat, if we got more than what we would eat. The chickens absolutely love pumpkins, and it's healthy for them. Anyways, so I did buy some mini pumpkins. I spent $5 or $6, and they will play into my minimal. And when I say minimal is not mean very small. It means I'm not going to spend a lot of money for my fall decorating out here. Usually it's my deck. My other plants in the gardens, like the black-eyed Susans, many of them are still going, so theirs plays right into the fall theme, and other things. Yeah, my orange dahlias are doing beautiful. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do. I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, today it's partly cloudy, partly sunny. Definitely feels like fall. My neighbor's tree, which I should turn you around and show you, definitely has lots of red leaves. And yeah, I don't like rushing the seasons. I like enjoying them as they get here. So that's why I am just now getting to switching up maybe some of my containers. I have an idea. I'm pointing at one container now that has a perennial phlox in it that I'm going to put out in the gardens. Yeah. And we'll see what I put in the middle. It'll probably be something I already have. And if I would have been on my game, I would have started some pansies from seed, because pansies will go through the winter for me. Even if during like January, February, they look a little, because they're semi-dormant, they just pop right into bloom come spring, and getting a head start on them is always fun. But I could always start some through the winter and put them out early spring. I could do that too, so it's no big deal. And a lot of times the containers outside here are buried in snow once winter hits, and so that's no big deal. So, my friends, I will see you in my next fall garden video. All right, see you then. And don't forget, if you want to do a seed packet, go check out the painting website, pamelagropey.com. I'll put the name across the screen, the link in the description box, and you can try hand painting some seed packets yourself.